Mm-hmm. Not the one she wanted to use. Which one?
Look at this one with the really curly. This is beautiful.
What they say is irrelevant. It's what they do when they get back to it. That's all it's about.
She just did right.
Can't wait to watch this in like 20 years and see what style is. I know what your video would have looked like.
What a phenomenal show from top to bottom. I do honestly hear a bunch of good talk and just about not only the quality of pigs you guys have here, but the quality of people that surrounds it, the quality of people who put it on, but yet the showmen are just unparalleled in terms of professionalism and just ability to just drive pigs from top to bottom. I'm not just talking about the 5 that are in here. It goes extremely deep in each division. But first things first, ladies and gentlemen, these kids have been working all summer long to get here. Let's congratulate it with a nice round of applause. I asked them all a simple question, actually 2 simple questions. I went up to each individual, kind of did as our age division, novice, junior, intermediate, and senior, and all I asked them was, who's your biggest competitor? And there was a pair of them that kind of, or there was most of them that had the same answer, and then the other one kind of had a different answer, and it really doesn't matter who. I just kind of wanted to see who you want to be, and it's kind of why we're out here, is just to win and be competitive at it, but yet be professional and respectable doing it. And my second question was, why are you better? And with showing and just being part of the industry, you got to have confidence. And even though it's a tough division or a tough class and just a tough county fair, have confidence that you can get it done. And that's why I try to instill in all of my showmen, just have confidence. Know when you hit that ring that you can bring home that banner. And so I just kind of wanted to talk to the kids, and that's just one of the things I like to do in life. And I tell you what, all of them just had a stellar answer, and you just know that all 5 of you, there's somebody chasing you, and I think that's awesome. I don't think if we didn't have a competitor, we wouldn't try as hard, maybe. So I think it's great the competitive drive that all of you have, but yet you're so professional, and you're all very confident. None of you said, well, I don't think I'm the best one. You told me why you are the best one. So I think it's great. I think there's also a showman out here that, again, has just been so consistent and just so really kind of flawless in the way they kind of maneuver their hogs. And again, I think it comes down to the one who makes the least amount of mistakes. And I can put them through all the hoops you need to and put them in the big production. But honestly, I'm pretty comfortable who's the best one out here. It's going to be the young lady in the white. Congratulations. And for reserve, it gets extremely close, and even for granted or in reserve showman, it's incredibly close. And it was kind of funny to hear the answers, because it got kind of personal between the pair of them, and rightfully so, because I've been in a grand drive with another person that I know pretty well, and me and her are always going back and forth and just competing at everything we did in life, and that's because it was my little sibling who only beat me one time, and I made sure it never happened again. But I think that pair is so good, and it was kind of neat. I guess I didn't realize it until they kind of pointed it out, but they're very similar in the way they kind of do it, and it's just splitting hairs. And I think the only reason that the reserve showman is going to be reserved is I kind of forced you there towards the exit gate, and then you kind of had a little bit more time to kind of pull out and get your hog driven. But the sister's going to be second. Let's congratulate her. We're going to keep going down the live in place 5, and again, it's just extremely close, and I think that the top 3 is probably the closest that I had to place, and this young person's answer was so good, and it just kind of made me grin, and she kind of laughed too. But the young lady that's going to be 3rd today is one that she said, well, my biggest competitor I actually beat once, and she was very confident, and you can tell because on the end of the whip she is just so good, and the way she drives. But in this particular drive that we're out here is one where she just kind of got a little further on the head there towards the end, and wanted to drop that gilt's head just a nickel, and just got to make sure, and a drive this competitive, your smallest hiccup can be a little big. And I'm not saying it's a big mistake because it's so picky of the top 3. That's so good. Young lady in the pink's going to be 3rd.
When she stepped over it over there, did a really nice job though.
4 and 5 that remain are again just excellent showmen, and they wouldn't be out here if they weren't excellent, and just so good in the way that they kind of just present themselves and just make the least amount of mistakes. But my 4th place showman is another one this showman just kind of said, well, I put in a lot of hours at work, and I think all the hours should pay off, and I think it should, and so I appreciate that answer also. And I don't think there was a bad answer, but this showman is so good at giving me angles for their age, just so good and consistent all the way through. Young man's going to be 4, young lady will be 5. Excellent group of them. Young lady that is 5. I know this is kind of your first year showing, just so good and just learning and being able to do that. You crossed over once there at the end of the drive, and I know that's one thing you've been working on, as you told me, but such an excellent, stellar group of them. Let's congratulate all of them on an excellent show. Alrighty, in 5th place in our